Actually speaking, these kind of dharmas are there only in the human society. If you look at any other society of living entities, whether it is animals, plants, birds, or any of these living entities, we don't find the concept of dharma amongst them. Dharma means, like Prabhupada is defining very wonderfully, what is the meaning of actual meaning of dharma according to the root of the word, Sanskrit word dharma. That which sustains one's existence, means we live for that. Just like we see some people live for the country. They are ready to give up their life fighting for the country's sovereignty. There are some people who are willing to kill and to be killed for the sake of their religion. So, that means dharma is that which sustains one's existence. That means, in other words, what we live for, what is it that is the most important thing for us in our life, without which our life will become meaningless. We have that kind of this concept of dharma, that there is some concept which sustains our existence, which pervades our consciousness, for which we are ready to even give up our life. That kind of the concept of dharma exists only in the human society. Just like we see how before 1947, for the people of India, freedom was the dharma. And so for that freedom, for that Swaraj, so many people gave up their lives. So during that time, everyone in the whole country was gripped by the concept of freedom. We have to get Swaraj, we have to get freedom from the Britishers. That's the most important thing. So these kind of things you don't find amongst animals. Animals, you go to a zoo, there will be so many animals which will be encased there, imprisoned there. But have we ever heard of a revolt amongst the animals? The animals all got together and decided, from now on we'll fight for our Swaraj. This is our dharma from now on. You never find that. Little bit of dharma you can find amongst some animals like dogs, which is nationalism dharma you can find amongst them. They'll mark their territory. Anybody else comes there, they'll go and attack. So little bit of this one you can see there. But otherwise, if you see, what dharma do the animals follow? The animals don't follow any dharma. Their whole focus is eating, sleeping, mating and defending, that's all. Human beings, because of their developed intelligence, have this concept that there is something which should encompass our existence. We should, our whole existence gains meaning because of that goal, which becomes our dharma. Now, if my whole consciousness is filled with a particular dharma, whichever dharma it is, Raja Dharma, religion dharma, nationalism dharma, cricket dharma, soccer dharma, basketball dharma, whatever dharma it is, when that dharma has become the most important thing in my life, if I am able to execute that dharma, naturally I should become happy. Isn't it? This is the most important thing for me in my life. So if I am able to execute this, if I am able to achieve that, it should give me great happiness. Unfortunately, what we see in this material world is, even though people follow all these kinds of dharma, they still don't get fully satisfied by following their respective dharmas, by pursuing what they perceive to be their dharma. People of India, so much they fought for independence. Now you look at all those freedom fighters, they become very old. Most people are not there. Some few people here and there, even if they are there, you go and talk to them, they'll be very dissatisfied. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi, who was the leader, who was at the forefront of the whole freedom struggle, what happened? under his leadership, India could gain independence from the Britishers. So his whole, he lived, he breathed that fight for, struggle for independence. And when independence was achieved, what happened? He said that now only death can give me peace. After gaining independence, seeing all the politics that was going on. So we can see even Gandhiji was not satisfied by fulfilling his dharma of getting freedom. Similarly, you see, Virat Kohli, for him, his cricket is his dharma, is his life and soul. But ultimately what happened? He got stripped of the captaincy. Now he is dissatisfied. He is giving press conferences. No, I was not consulted. Without asking me, they removed me, etc., etc. So he gave his everything to his sport. But what happened? Dissatisfied. Somebody, he is speaking so strongly for his religion, for his Hindu dharma. What is happening? FIR is getting registered and he is going to jail. By following all these kinds of dharmas, people are seeking a certain satisfaction. But when they fulfill that dharma that they are following, whether self-created or actual dharma, even whatever it is, as described in the scriptures, nobody is becoming satisfied. So, how to ultimately, by doing all these things, if we do not become satisfied, if we do not become happy, then what is the point in doing all these things? If I endeavor with great difficulty for some to obtain some object, and once I obtain that object is only giving me trouble, then what is the use of taking all that effort and achieving that object? It doesn't make any sense. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is saying that dharma yayatma suprasidati. Savai pumsam dharma yayatma suprasidati. The Srimad Bhagavatam is aiming for that dharma which can completely satisfy us. And therefore, in the very beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, first chapter, second verse, what does it say? Projjita kaitavo dharmo atra. All those dharmas which do not give us satisfaction are all kicked out, are all rejected by the Bhagavatam. So the Bhagavatam is propagating that dharma alone which can give satisfaction to a human being. And what is that dharma which can satisfy a human being? That is savai pumsam paro dharmo yayatma suprasidati. That dharma which is capable of satisfying every living entity who follows the dharma is the paro dharma, is the ultimate dharma. There is nothing superior to that. And what is that paro dharma which can satisfy every living entity completely? Because Bhagavatam is saying suprasidati. Prasidati means to satisfy. Suprasidati means to completely satisfy. When we get some object, we may feel some satisfaction. We may feel 50% satisfied, we may feel 60% satisfied, 70% satisfied also. But when we say suprasidati, that means 100% satisfaction. Nothing more left. So what is that kind of ultimate dharma which can completely 100% satisfy the follower of that dharma? That is described in the Bhagavatam. Ahaituki apratihata adokshaje bhaktir. That devotional service which is executed to Krishna without interruption and without any material motivation, no other goal than to serve the Supreme Lord. No other desire for any other benefit for myself other than that opportunity to serve Krishna. That kind of devotional service executed to Krishna is the ultimate dharma which can completely satisfy every living entity.